whatoplay presents the top 25 PlayStation 4 fighting games of all time. The play scores an average of gamer and critic ratings. Starting the list with number 25, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. A dip into the iconic Dragon Ball universe. Xenoverse lets you experience the world through the eyes of your very own character. Mixing fighting with RPG, it introduces you to all your favorite icons from the anime. Offering tons of RPG content, their fun and frenetic fighting mechanics also have a good balance of button mashing action and skill-based tactics. It's a balanced RPG fighter for fans of Toriyama's universe. It has a play score of 8.04. 24 is Chaos Code New Sign of Catastrophe. Not the most well-known of Arc System Works creations. It's a re-release of the pretty underwhelming PS3 version. New Sign of Catastrophe adds a slew of new content into the 2D fighting mix. With a total roster of 16 characters, each have their own unique playstyles, from the fast and nimble to the heavy but powerful. It's not at all memorable, but it does show off the flair of Arc System Works' usual high-quality fighting. It has a play score of 8.06. 23rd is Nidhogg 2, a sequel to the award-winning fighting game from Mayshoff Games. Released on a PS4 in 2017, Nidhogg 2 is still keeping it real with their combination of fencing and tug-of-war, pitting you and a singular opponent in a fight to the death. Nidhogg 2 made it all more exciting with fleshier art style and a load of brand new weapons. It's not exactly much of an improvement, but it's still a staple party game with a play score of 8.14. 22nd is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Arc System Works takes a break from their other fighting games to bring together the cast and characters of various Japanese universes into one ultimate battle. Cross Tag Battle, along with the usual BlazBlue aspects, features characters from Persona 4, Under Night in Birth, and Ruby. The base game offers 20 characters, but their succeeding season DLCs promise more than 20 additions, with most recent announcements being Naruto, Teddy, Seth, and Heart Aino for a Japan release this spring. It has a play score of 8.14. 21st is Ultra Street Fighter IV, the ultimate edition of 2008 Street Fighter IV, featuring all of the accumulated extra content since the original. Ultra Street Fighter IV has every move from arcade, online, practice, and challenge modes. All 44 characters, each of their crazy costumes, and their slightly altered Omega modes too. While it does keep the old hiccups from the original, it's a badass title to have on the PS4 for a low price tag. It gets a play score of 8.17. Number 20 is Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. The fourth and final iteration of Dead or Alive 5, finally. Last Round followed the ultimate version with the added perks of a graphical upgrade and 2 fancy new stages. It also retains all 32 characters from Ultimate, and the roster rounds up to an even 36 with the introduction of Honoka, Raidu, Mai Shiranyu, and Atora Lee. There's even more sexiness with their subsequent DLCs that features island swimwear and maiden costumes. It has a play score of 8.20. Number 19 is Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition. DC's grand debut into the video game industry is still thriving on the PlayStation 4. Injustice gathers the villains and heroes of the DC universe into one arena. This Ultimate Edition enhances the awesome original with 6 new characters, 47 new skins, and 60 new Star Labs missions. It's just a little bit prettier than its PS3 version, and it packs a punch in terms of content, and it receives a play score of 8.21. 18 is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, a high-powered sequel to Dragon Ball Xenoverse. This sequel gives players the full experience of the anime's expansive universe, taking you into a hub world 7 times larger than the original. There's plenty of opportunities for high-flying, time-bending action. Already packing 50 characters on release, with more in their 8 succeeding DLCs, meeting them on the battlefield is an exhilarating experience that's a definite upgrade from the last. It has a play score of 8.22. At number 17 is Tekken 7. This newest installment of the critically acclaimed fighting series takes it to even greater heights as it brings to a close the legendary Mishima feud. It's putting the franchise up to date on the modern consoles. Tekken 7 looks visually impressive, and it keeps their established combat formula fresh enough for new and old fans. Although the learning curve is tougher than usual, Tekken 7's online servers continue to thrive with thousands of players and continued balance patches. It has a score of 8.36. 16 is Fire Pro Wrestling World. Far from the realism of WWE and 2K, Fire Pro exchanges form for function, making use of simple 90s-like game graphics to expand on the customizable wrestling experience. Rounding up the stars of the Japanese wrestling scene, it also lets you personalize everything from the ring, the match rules, and your very own wrestling persona. It also comes complete with impact, drama, and modes like Battle Royale, Cage Match, and 4v4s. It's the most complete wrestling game yet with a play score of 8.36. 15 is Mortal Kombat XI, a sequel to their 2011 reboot/story retcon. Mortal Kombat XI happily picks up where that left off, featuring familiar faces across the series' history like Liu Kang, Kitana, as well as a handful of fresh names like the Earthbending Cetrion, the Shao Kahn ally, the Collector, and even Geras. It builds up on the solid foundations with fatal blows that up the ante on their already gory fatalities. The game comes off with a bit of grinding though, but it offers plenty in story and difficulty options, making it an exciting new treat for fighting fans on the PlayStation 4. It has a play score of 8.37. At 14th place is Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, an updated version of their 6th installment. Capcom rejuvenates the franchise's roots with this experience. This release is packed with a bunch of new features like new characters, costumes, and even game modes. Take a trip through memory lane in arcade mode, or try out V-Trigger's moves in extra battle mode. Players can breeze through the fights with the Season 1 and 2 characters, or earn their way to the exciting additions of the Season 3 pass. It has a play score of 8.38. Number 13 is Soulcalibur VI. Bandai Namco rediscovers the glory of the 16th century in this 6th installment of their weapon-based fighting game. It's a celebration of their 20th anniversary. Soulcalibur VI invites the big dogs into the mix, particularly The Witcher 3's grey-haired Casanova, Geralt of Rivia. Revisit the classic Soulcalibur events and compete with other players in online mode, or cook up your own character in creation mode. It's an epic new chapter for the series with a play score of 8.49. Number 12 is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This updated version of the Fate of Two Worlds adds 12 new characters from both Capcom and Marvel Universe, including Doctor Strange, Iron Fist, Phoenix Wright, Virgil, and more. Gameplay is still similar compared to its original, but it adds new changes to the game's aerial combat, HUD, and X-Factor systems. These upgrades provide new balance to the combat, offering a new challenge for veterans and amateur players. Capcom may not be the best with their fighting game community right now, but hey, at least their single-player games are starting to make a comeback. And we hope for this one too. It receives a play score of 8.50. Number 11 is Under Night In-Birth XE Late ST, another fighting game from Arc System Works, but in collaboration with French Bread. Choose between 20 unique characters to fight through the dangers of the Hollow Knight and claim victory of those who get in your way. Late ST features 4 newly introduced characters to the roster that are not present during their recent crossover or on the original title. Late ST also introduces gameplay fixes and new combat mechanics. Players can also get into the online lobbies and battle with anyone across the globe. It receives a play score of 8.53. Number 10 is the King of Fighters XIV. Since 1994, SNK has graced us with their fighting game with finesse. 14 improves the King of Fighters experience with a gorgeous graphical overhaul. Perform high-flying kicks and dizzying jabs in 19 stages with over 50 characters. The game combines the new and old mechanics of the franchise. Harass your opponents using its improved EX mode and humiliate them with last-minute blocks. The game receives a play score of 8.57. Number 9 is BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma Extend. Before Central Fiction, this is the most prominent title in the series. Chrono Phantasma keeps the wheel of fate turning, and it introduces a wave of new fresh faces, along with its already popular cast. All in all, it has over 28 playable characters, with each of them packing unique skills and movesets. Adding even more spice to this trademark fighting experience is a new mechanic called Overdrive, which replaces Continuum Shift's Gold Burst and gives you the power to stop time. Also, if you're looking for a great BlazBlue story, this one is for you. It receives a play score of 8.59. Number 8 is Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. CyberConnect 2 takes a spin to their acclaimed Naruto fighting game, and this time it brings the next generation of ninjas from Masashi Kishimoto's popular manga. Engage in epic ninja battles and select from a memorable cast of characters from the Naruto series, including their own offsprings. Each of your favorite Naruto and Boruto characters in the franchise gets to return in this huge title. Retaining its 3D arenas, the battles are still as lively and stylish as ever with all that ninja shenanigans. It receives a play score of 8.60. 7 is BlazBlue Central Fiction. Truly one of the A-list of all the BlazBlue games right now in terms of gameplay. The game is packed with Arc System Works' responsive and fluid controls, which also complements to its incredible art style and visuals. Central Fiction is the peak of the BlazBlue series, and it contains the full roster of 36 major characters. And that includes key characters from Chrono Phantasma. It may have reached an end to its story, but its competitive scene still lives on as a few handful of players still enjoy keeping the wheel of fate turning. It receives a play score of 8.66. At number 6 is Guilty Gear Xrd Sign. If anyone's kinda lost with all this Guilty Gear mumbo jumbo, don't fret. Well, basically, Sign was the first among the Xrd titles, and Revelator was supposed to be a DLC. But it was made into a standalone game due to its success. In Sign, it opens a new story to our ill-fated heroes. However, fans of the series are recommended to play the latest Xrd titles, especially Revelator, plus its Rev 2 all-in-one package, because this one is outdated and features less characters compared to the succeeding titles. Nonetheless, the game is still good and it receives a play score of 8.75. Number 5 is Mortal Kombat X, the title that places Mortal Kombat back on the map. Embrace the thrill of the bloodiest kills and insane amount of dismemberment. MK11 might be out, but if you don't have it yet, this is the perfect start for players to practice their skills. MKX showcases a variety of new characters, including Devora, Kotal Khan, Casey Cage, Takeda, and a whole lot more. With a total of 36 characters including the old ones and even the DLCs, it's a grand celebration of viscera and gore. Scored a lot higher than MK11, MKX has a play score of 8.81. Number 4 is Injustice 2. NetherRealm's sequel to their superpowered fighting game gets a massive overhaul. Select from a wide variety of characters including Supergirl, Gorilla Grodd, Deadshot, and other major DC characters that deserve the limelight. The game may be out for almost 2 years now, but it's far from over. Its recent slew of updates adds 10 major heroes and villains to the list, including crossovers like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hellboy, and even MK Sub-Zero. That's 38 characters, and it's a pretty crazy party in the Injustice timeline right now. It receives a play score of 8.85. Third place is Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator. Revelator brings out the best of the franchise's revolutionary cel-shaded animation. This entry contains at least 23 playable characters to choose from, including new additions such as Corrado Berry Jam, Jacko, Johnny, Raven, Dizzy, and Koom Hae-yoon. The last 3 can be unlocked by purchasing its respective DLCs. And aside from its quality fighting game content, it's made for amateur players to hone their skills, especially with the game's extensive training modes. Learn the ropes of its flashy fighting system, and you'll be able to perform combos in no time. It has a play score of 8.85. Second place is Skullgirls Second Encore, a fitting game on this second spot. Second Encore is a major update of the original Skullgirls that marks the return of the Skull Heart and its corruption. This title continues to show its iconic and gorgeous blend of good animation and fast-paced combat. And speaking of combat, it's as fluid and blazing, especially with its support system. And in this DLC, the game set of characters will unlock new character colors, and not to mention, the new heroes to join the squad. This includes Big Band, Squiggly, Eliza, Beowulf, and Robo Fortune. Its crossplay and numerous modes to choose from continues to make this game enjoyable to play at. It receives a play score of 8.85. And at first place is none other than Dragon Ball FighterZ. Once again, Arc System Works' definitive Dragon Ball fighting game experience continues to please the hardcore fighting game enthusiasts and even newcomers. The roster continues to increase in every passing season, with 2009 adding Jiren and Videl to the fray for its FighterZ DLC Pass 2. There's still about 4 characters left to unveil, and the game's numerous balance changes keeps it going steady as of now. It receives a play score of 8.89. Hey guys, if you love this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to become a certified What To Player. So that's it, and goodbye.